Datuk Kamarin told us this morning, he said EC, Election Commission Malaysia, is ready and can use indelible ink. They are just waiting for the last approval from Fatwa. Fatwa is an Islamic body. They are waiting Fatwa to approve the material of ink that they use according to Fatwa regulation. A voter's registration or change of the voter's address in post office nationwide. He said nationwide there are 600 over post office which are empowered to do this, register new voters and change of the voter's address. But I complained to him this morning. I say some, if not most, of the post office, they either don't have the borang, don't have the forms, or the post office officers, the workers there, they don't know how to fill out the form. They just tell the public they don't know how to do it. And Dato' Kamaruddin, he admitted, he said they realized this problem because the last time EC gave training to post office workers was 5 years ago. And 5 years down the road, post office, they have a lot of new staff, and the new staff don't know what is this SPR form, what is this change of address. So he promised he will do a nationwide training, EC training, to the post office personnel.
We had discussed about Malaysian overseas voting rights, as suggested by a Parliamentary Select Committee (PSC) in the report lately that we should allow Malaysian overseas to vote. So I told him that when I went overseas last week, even the embassy of diplomats told me that they are really not sure whether this will be implemented or not. Then of course for SPR they say that they are still doing the study. They did not make announcement yet. So, but he said if election is called in the near future, they won't be able to implement it. So they also not sure when will the election be called. So I mean, on this note, I suggest that although we heard that the Prime Minister announced in UMNO Assembly that elections will be very soon, but I hope that he can be serious in implementing all the recommendations made by the Parliamentary Select Committee.
All the while, all forms submitted are not required to be accompanied or to be with voters' IC, copy of the IC. But we were told early November that all forms must be accompanied with ICs, verbally, without written notice. And by the time we were told in the early November, they were already took effect from the 1st of November. So this resulted in many of the registration forms that we have, that have been supposedly to be sent to EC, all stranded. Hundreds of them. Some forms we do have the voters' contact number, but some do not. So this makes it very difficult. If we submit, these forms will not be recognized, and the voters' eligibility to vote will become invalid. So, and for our office to inform those new voters, even with phone numbers or contact numbers, we found that some of them are not willing to come forward to give their IC. Some are working outstation and so on. This is why we are here to see the EC, and the EC is represented by the skilled Sir Dato' Kamaruddin what? Dato' Kamaruddin, and he has pledged to accept all the forms without ICs.
Before the directive
before the decision was made, before the letter was actually issued to us.
So
this is the first thing.
We have submitted about 500. about 500 copies of the voter registration form. At least it's a relief on our part.
I have produced 3 evidence for the attention of the Election Commission, where these are eligible voters who have participated in the previous general elections. One among the 3 is an 81-year-old man who have been voted for during several elections, but he found his name missing last elections. So later I found of this irregularity, and I checked with the previous record. This old man was certainly a voter for many elections. But how come his name was missing from the roll in 2008? Case 1. Case 2, there's another gentleman also, age 52, also facing the same dilemma. So upon checking of their record, I was told by the Election Commission officer just now, these 2 persons unfortunately has been listed as disease. And they blame the Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara, National Registration Department, for the mistake. This is the information they received from JPN, so they were classified as orang mati. I think there must be something wrong with the 2 departments. Why such a thing happened? And there's another case of a young voter, 26 years old, who voted in the 2004 elections. 2008 elections. Now he wanted to change his address. So he went to 2 post offices. And 2 post offices, one in Damai Perdana, the other one is in Pudu. Both post officers informed him his record could not be traced. Could not be traced in their computers. So these gentlemen were advised, instead of filling the change of address form, he is to fill the new voter registration form. So he did so. He filled the new voter registration form, but he felt very unhappy over it, and he came to complain to me. So, and upon checking with my own computer, the Election Commission website with my own computer, his name is there. So how come post office tak ada? So when I lost this complaint just now, an Election Commission officer say, oh, they are not duty bound to check details for voter by us, which the officer cannot answer. When a person wanted to change address, you must check his old address first. So without semakan, how do you manage to change his old address? Then only they admit this is the mistake on their part. And I found out the post office, they admitted.
The post office admitted.
No, EC admitted they are responsible for the mistake because post office are not supplied with the latest electoral roll by the EC.